I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon, and we will grow. And I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Aries Ascendant. For Aries Ascendant, Mars will be moving in your first house, and because Mars is moving back to its own zodiac sign, it's a good symbol, it's a good thing for Aries Ascendant and even Aries moon sign natives. Now, Mars being your Lagna Lord coming back to the Lagna and your 8th Lord coming in your first house shows tremendous improvement in your overall growth, overall lifestyle. Your health will improve, and financially, this is going to be a very good time. Now, when Mars comes in Lagna, you have to understand that this Mangal is free from the effect of Rahu. After a very long time, you can say mostly after 3 months, Mars is free from the effect of Saturn and Rahu. Mars being your ascendant lord represents you, your energy and your enthusiasm. When Mars comes in Lagna, this is going to give you a lot of confidence, a lot of willpower. It will boost your confidence, and it will give you enough enough room to work with, enough energy so that you can push yourself to new dimensions and new areas. Mars being in the first house will aspect 4th, 7th and 8th house. Now with the 4th aspect, it will try to give you a lot of confidence and it will make you feel very happy. In fact, you will make attempts to recover yourself from all the negativity that you have seen. Just you have to ensure that you're not going too fast, because Mars will be in Ashwini Nakshatra. Do check my Mars in Ashwini Nakshatra video, which will be coming very soon on this channel. So subscribe and stay connected. Now Mars, because it is in Aries zodiac sign, it has this natural tendency to move faster. What it can do is it can make you a bit desperate to protect your interests, and you will be more desperate towards your own family. Maybe you would want to bring changes in the ecosystem in which you live. It would want to bring a change in the way you approach your family. Maybe the direction of your sleep will change. You will be renovating your house, or even this can push you to buy a new car, a new house, maybe put your money into some good investment. Nothing is wrong, but you have to understand that if your Mars in your birth chart is positive, the results will be very positive. But if the Mars in your birth chart is negative, you should be very careful. Now this Mars can be a bit dominating. This Mars can be a bit intimidating in marriage, because Mars is aspecting the 7th house. Remember that Venus and Jupiter are combust, which means that for the month of June, while Venus is combust, this may mean that you may come across as someone who people depend upon. So you have to stand for the people, you have to stand for your family, you have to stand for your loved ones and for your spouse. Now, with respect to business, this can bring new career opportunities, and suddenly your business partner may bring in new opportunities, new ideas, or if you are thinking to start a business, suddenly the partnership may establish during this time. But you may be a bit more aggressive. You would want to move things fast, but Saturn in the 11th house is making your 12th house go under Pap Kartari. That means if in your horoscope you have planets in the sign of Pisces, you should be careful. Right now, Rahu is going under Pap Kartari Yoga between Mangal and Shani. Now, if Rahu is blocked, this is something good for you. But this can be alternatively challenging for people who go for export and import of goods and services, especially in the field of IT and technology. For you, you may have to be more creative and figure out new ways of doing things. Taurus. Now for Taurus, if you observe, Mars rules your 12th house and 7th house. Because Mars rules your foreign exchange, Mars rules your business, and because Mars goes in the 12th house, this is the time where your energy will be drained a lot, but you will get good results very soon. Remember, Jupiter is on your ascendant, and couple of days after Mars moves to Aries zodiac sign, Jupiter is out of combustion. Which means this is going to be a very good opportunity for Taurus ascendant and even Taurus moon sign natives to start a business, to relocate to a different city. If you want to make your career go global, if you want to explore new opportunities outside your local place, this is the time. Now, Mars going into the 12th house also means that you might be feeling a little bit insecure, especially in terms of marriage and relationship. Your discussion with your business partners may make you feel skeptical about things. Do not immediately react. You have to be proactive, not reactive. And Mars being in the 12th house will aspect your 3rd house, 6th house and 7th house. Now, when Mars is aspecting the 7th house with the 8th aspect, I know Mars is aspecting its own zodiac sign, but still, Mars may create negative reactions in marriage and relationships. So be careful. This is going to make you a bit lazy and sometimes over energetic. So there will be phases. Sometimes you will be like doing all the tasks before time, and sometimes it will be difficult for you to even meet the deadline. So you will have to make your energy flow constant. So do a lot of walking and chant Hanuman Chalisa. With the 4th aspect, Mars will aspect the 3rd house. So Mars will, if positive in your horoscope, will make you very proactive. You will be doing things diligently. You will be doing things when it is needed, how it is needed. But if Mars is negative in your birth chart, you might have this emotion of doing things, like you want to do it, but you will be procrastinating. You will be just pushing the task and missing the deadlines. So in that case, you will have to be very conscious about what you decide that that has to be done and what you actually do. Now, with Mars aspect in the 6th house, this is going to clear off most of your debt. So there can be a lot of debt clearing, debt servicing happening in your horoscope, which is in fact good for you. But in turn, it may mean that you are saving a little less money. So overall, this Mars transit in the 12th house is good. Just take care of your health. There can be some medical expenses also. Now, if your career is running smoothly and there are no problems in your career, it is recommended that do not touch that position. If something is moving in the right direction, let it go, let it flow, because your 11th house is now in Pap Kartari. That means your source of income is blocked. You may desperately want to leave everything behind and run away, but maybe that's not the solution, because Saturn is aspecting the Mangal with the 3rd aspect. I'll make another special video explaining what does this mean, but especially for Taurus, this simply means that you will have to control your subconscious mind and flow of thoughts. Otherwise, you may end up creating losses for yourself. Gemini. Now, in case of Gemini, Mars is a very important planet, especially from your free will perspective, especially from your work-life perspective, career perspective. It is 50% of your Upachaya house. It is the lord of the 6th house. It is the lord of the 11th house. Now, being the owner of the 11th house, when it goes in the 11th house, wish fulfillment will happen. But you know, Mars is a planet of energy and your ascendant is Mercurian. So you would want to move things very fast. There's no problem unless you are becoming very impractical in your ambitions. See, Mars in the 11th house is going to give you a lot of success, benefits, new career opportunities, new job opportunities. That is understandable. Mars is going to make things happen. Mars is going to make stuck up things move. Mars is more like the power, the nitro booster your life needed right this point. Good. But if you press the accelerator of a Ferrari, which is in a traffic jam, what will happen? The Ferrari will move and collide another vehicle. It will be a big damage and the catastrophic failure will happen. Which means when you are pressing the button of acceleration, you should know that the road ahead is clear. So you will have to think 1 year ahead in your planning before you launch yourself completely, and also you have to check the sustainability of your action. Why? Saturn from the 9th house, which is your 9th lord by the way, is aspecting this Mangal. That means Saturn wants to create a positive destiny for yourself, but won't allow Mars to move in any direction. Now this is a beautiful thing. The problem, Rahu in the 10th house. Now because Rahu is in the 10th house, Rahu is hemmed between Pap Kartari, which means you will be trying your best, but out of the box solution may not happen. Rahu is trapped and cannot move either towards Saturn or towards Mars in the energy sense. Actual planet is moving. But what it means is that in your work, things will become very redundant. You would be feeling very boring, and that is why you would want to experiment, but the experiment may not happen. This can create restlessness. This can create, sometimes you see the success in front, but you can't achieve it. So you're stretching your arms for that. Especially if you are in business, if you are into media, if you are about to reach the potential that you expected yourself, but you are just falling short. Try to understand that even if you are falling short a bit, you are okay. Explain to yourself where you have become, where you have come from and what you have become. The position that you are in right now may be way better than you were before. Appreciate that. If you appreciate and go in a very cruise mode while enjoying your life, that's how you will be able to manage the maximum out of this Mars transit in Aries, and people with Mars Mahadasha will be extracting the best out of this. It's a very beautiful transit, just that you will feel a bit underconfident. You would want things to happen all by themselves. Obviously, that will not happen. So either your emotion will be, I will give my 100% and things must respond 100%, or I will not do anything and everything should happen all by itself. Both are wrong. You should apply your 100% and let the situation respond, let the universe respond in its own time frame. You do your best. That's the message, and go slow. This is a very good time for career, but there can be challenges with your brother-in-law. There can be challenges with your elder siblings, and you should be somebody who is very someone who is constantly working on making families come together. This is also going to be a very good time with respect to your children, your efficiency, and if you want to clear your debt, give away your loans, pay off the credit cards, Mars in Aries will help you a lot, especially by giving you a lot of money. Cancer Ascendant. Mars will be in your 10th house. Mars rules your 10th house and 5th house, and because of this, your efficiency will increase. It's a beautiful time for Kark Rashi, Kark Lagna people, because Mangal, being in the 10th house, has this potential to work on your career, work on your reputation. And 10th house definitely means that you get all the resources to execute your desire, your dreams, fulfilling your dreams, and basically in your career front where you project your strength, Mars will help you. So if you're doing any project and that was stuck, if things are moving slow in your career, things will now move quite fast. Mars being in the 10th house will be aspecting your 1st house, and therefore you will have to be careful about your health, how much time you spend in your workplace, how much time you spend in your career. And when Mars aspects the 4th house, it means that you are going in a situation where work-life balance is getting disturbed, which means you're not unable to spend time with your children, you're unable to spend time with your family members, and you're working little extra. Now for some this can be a good thing, for some this can hurt the marriage. Say for example, if Mars in your horoscope affects your marriage house negatively, then this can be bad for you. If Mars is positive in your horoscope, this shows career growth for you. This also means that there will be challenging situation being thrown at you. So this will be more like an examination. Why? Saturn is in the 8th house. Because of the 8th house Shani Dev, Saturn will be aspecting Mars with the 3rd aspect. When Saturn is aspecting Mars with the 3rd aspect, Mars can get irritated, because it is about your 8th lord trying to control the 5th lord. That means you have everything lined up. You have made sure everything goes perfect. Suddenly a situation arises that you did not account for, and now you have to resolve that situation, delaying everything else. For an example, you bought a movie ticket, you estimated everything, you saw on the Google map the road is clear, you take your car, you estimate 30 minutes. The moment you go and drive, and after 10-15 minutes, suddenly there's a unexpected traffic jam. You did not anticipate this, and now you have missed the movie. So what you have to do is, when you are preparing, keep like 20% buffer, both financially and for the time wise, and also for the effort wise. Because Saturn would want you to go slow and will create restriction if you're not perfect. So try to look for a little bit of perfection kind of thing. Also, Mars and Rahu is going to make, Saturn is going to make Rahu in the 9th house go under Papakartari Yoga. Now, Rahu in the 9th house going under Papakartari is actually good for you. This will give you right guidance, technological support, and now things will move in the direction you intend it to be. But because you will see success, because you will taste the success, you will go into full throttle, and the moment you go into full throttle, Saturn will press the brake. So never go full throttle. Try to see sustainability. This is more like a marathon race disguised as a sprint. So think carefully before you launch all your efforts, and health is going to become a topmost priority. Mars aspect on the Lagna, Saturn being in the 8th house, health is extremely important. Especially your mental health, where you may feel burnout, where you may feel that you are doing everything, where your team is not doing anything, because of the Kark Lagna being the Moon Lagna. Your emotions will go haywire, and you may speak up few things which is going to be making you very aggressive. So calm yourself down, and from 1st of June till the mid of July, it is best to chant Hanuman Chalisa. Know your power, know your potential, but also understand your limitations. Leo. Now for Leo ascendant, Mars is very important. It rules your 4th house, it rules your 9th house. And when 9th Lord comes in the 9th house, it's a beautiful transit. It's a transit that will give you luck. It will help you fulfill your destiny. You will meet your destiny. You will fulfill all your aspirations. You will do a lot of goal setting for yourself, and you will be able to achieve most that you have planned for yourself. Because Mars wants you to enable your career. You will get all the guidance that will give you the right direction. Mars 4th aspect will fall on the 12th house, which protects you from certain financial and career related losses. And Mars 7th aspect will fall on the 3rd house being the house of siblings, 3rd house being the house of initiatives. So this would want you to focus on certain areas of life and solve the matter once for all. That is why you will give up your comforts, you will give up your sleep in order to fulfill a certain task. It's a very good time for entrepreneurs. It's a very good time for people who are seeking success in life, who are young people who want to work hard, who want to try out different things in their career. It is also very good for people who want to study advanced courses, advanced engineering, advanced sciences. For aviation industry, for transport industry, this is going to be a very good time. Now, you would want to fly high, but you are impractical. Immediately you will get a response from the circumstance. Somebody will stop you. Saturn being in the 7th house, aspecting Mars with the 3rd aspect. This means that Saturn is a savior. Mars is something that is pushing you, but sometimes Mars may overestimate your own strength, which means you may be suggested few things by Mars which are next to impossible. That means, say, you will get the motivation to do something, maybe start a new product, launch a new business, but Saturn will remind you of all the practicalities that are involved. And if something is really impossible, don't do that. That means you cannot leave the grounding, you cannot leave the practicalities of life. Do a lot of grounding meditation. Meditation on the Mooladhara Chakra is very important, so that you feel fearless, but you don't completely get rid of the fear. Sometimes fear is important. Fear doesn't overshadow your efforts, but you know what you're doing. You are also considering the consequence of your actions. That's what Mars in the 9th house will do. And this may create certain disturbance in the health of your mother because of your decisions, because of your agility, because of you want to move in different cities or countries, or because you want a change. Your family may go against you because they don't want that change. Your marriage may be in a difficult situation because Saturn does not want that change. So this is more like a fight between your change and what cannot be done. And you have to find a middle path. Rahu is also in Pap Kartiri in the Ashtama Bhav, 8th house, which is good. But this also means that for the time being, you have to play by the book. So innovation may stop, but refinement of innovation may continue. That means if you have done something, you have to refine it, you have to keep on working for it. But completely thinking a solution out of the box may not be possible right now. From the career front, you cannot forget that Jupiter is positive in the 10th house and it will be out of combustion. That means Jupiter is aspecting the 2nd house, the 4th house and the 6th house. I have uploaded a Jupiter transit series, a Jupiter transit video. Watch that out. Do subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon. Now Jupiter's positivity, Mars being in the 9th house, Saturn being in the 7th house is a beautiful recipe for something big. But this means something big will happen with its time. Nothing will happen quickly. Mars may pick up the speed, but Mars has to pick up a speed that is more sustainable. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So you will have to go accordingly, you will have to play accordingly, and you will have to restrict yourself sometimes and loosen up sometimes, depending upon the situation you are in. If Mars in your horoscope is positive, or if you're in Mars Mahadasha or Antardasha, this can be a blessing for you. Guru's guidance, luck favoring you, you gaining a lot of positivity in the stock trading, especially after Jupiter becomes positive, and people involved in defense sector who are in the IAS, IPS examination, or if you're preparing for that, you will see a lot of success and growth. If you have a negative Mars, chanting 11 Hanuman Chalisa every day is recommended. Virgo. Now Mars rules your 8th house and 8th from 8th. That means it rules the uncertainties of life, but also your response towards that, your willpower and your capacity to fight the challenges. If that Mars goes into the 8th house, Ashtam Bhav, you may feel that this is a negative, right? No. You have to understand that this Mars is there to conquer. Don't think that 8th Lord is in 8th house. Think that 3rd Lord is in the 8th house. And it is in the comfortable position, which means you have the potential to fight all the odds. You have the potential to win. You have the potential to focus on the Ashtama Bhava. You have the potential to overcome all the difficulties and also address difficult situations and address it in a way that you end up with a solution. It's not just a talk, but a proper solution based approach. That means Mars, in spite of being in the 8th house, aspecting the 11th house, it is not negative. It is like through your own efforts and in the right direction, it wants you to figure out ways of earning new let's say income. It's a very good time for people who want to bring in more products in their business, who wants to launch a new kind of business. This will keep you busy. This will keep you thinking on the terms like, what can I change? How can I improve? So on the positive side, it is good. You know when it will be negative? If you're thinking on the negative side, especially if you're a Virgo moon sign, Ketu is on your moon, Mars in the 8th house, you will feel desperate to get out of a certain situation. You would feel desperate to bring changes in life. Go slow. Because if you rush, you will burn out. If you burn out, you won't be able to execute. If you don't execute, you won't meet your deadline, you won't meet your targets, and that will further frustrate you. So, something like a ticking clock. Be in a rhythm. Don't go out of the rhythm. If you're doing something in a rhythm, then you will see the Mars in the 8th house giving you the best results. Now, this can create problems with respect to in-laws. This can also create a sudden gain of income. Say it can be coming from many areas. Say money coming from inheritance, money coming from a new source of business, money coming from a sudden sale in your business, money coming from a sudden bonus or a sudden job change. But what you have to do is save that money as much as possible. Use that money for right cause. Buy insurance policies, because that's how the world works. Now Mars will have the 8th aspect on your 3rd house, which means there can be some dispute with your younger siblings, with your neighbors. There can be sudden unexpected outcomes when you're doing journey or a short trip. Say the tire gets punctured, or if you're driving on a low fuel thinking that the petrol pump will be open, by the time you reach there the petrol pump is closed. Now you're stuck. So be fully prepared. That's the message. Whatever you are doing, whether even you are going for a basic speech, if you want to go for an interview, if you're driving to your office, just regular activity, be prepared. Say in a bag you have one pen, keep another pen. If you think the mobile phone battery is low but you can charge on the go, no, charge the phone and then go. So keep a backup of every single thing, and you will see this attitude and this behavior will save you in the long run. Health can be a concern, but I'm not talking about something that will go bad, something that you will create for yourself. So don't burn out. Don't push yourself too hard, especially if you are in the gym, you are going for that muscle building and you are consuming a lot of artificial products. You will have to be very careful. That can hurt your health. Muscle tear, muscle pain, back pain, all that is possible, and this can also stop you. You know why? Because Saturn in the 6th house will use disease to stop you. So if you are regular, okay. If you rush, Saturn will create a problem in your body. The best thing is chanting Hanuman Chalisa. Now because 7th house is under Pap Kartari, there can be certain restrictions in marriage, certain aspects which you can't avoid. Just go with the flow. Libra. Now in case of Libra as an ascendant, Mars rules your 2nd house and 7th house. And this Mars comes in the Saptam Bhava, the 7th house. Now definitely this is the placement where you will see that the energies are trying to balance itself. You are trying too hard to adjust to the circumstance and adjust to the system that is around you. But at times you may not feel up to the mark. You may also be fighting with your health issues. You may feel that you are a little bit unproductive during this time. You're trying too much, but still things are not moving in the right direction. If that is happening, then it means that the resistance is coming, so go slow. Although Mars is in Ashwini Nakshatra, Mars will move faster than expected. The energy may be in such a way that you don't want to move fast, but the situation is like sweeping you away. This means that situation can be a little bit out of phase from your own mindset, from your own system, which can create a health breakdown, which may create lethargy, which may create incompatibility between your style of work and what is being asked from you. So here my suggestion will be to cooperate a bit, because there is no point getting frustrated and running away from the situation. Because Mars is in its own zodiac sign, give some time and Mars will become very positive. Now the situation can be a little bit difficult in relationships. There can be a say where you are dominating, you are trying to, put forward your opinion too much. You are thinking that your pain is bigger than somebody else's pain. That may not be the case when Mars is in the Aries zodiac sign. You have to be considerate. You have to get along with people that are around you. You may have to work with people who you don't like. But remember one thing, this is the time when you can grow. This is the time when all such adverse feedbacks are actually good for you. So accept and welcome the criticism being received from the people around you. Remember, Jupiter is going out of combustion very soon, and this means that Jupiter aspect on your 2nd house is going to give you a lot of success. You may not like the words, but maybe those words are actually needed for your horoscope. Rahu in the 6th house means that Rahu would want to create a situation where you would feel that you would want to study something, you would want to go abroad. Saturn brings in the practical side, and Mars will tell you what is possible and what is not possible. In that case, the suggestion will be to go slow. People who are trying to start new business, it's a very good time for them. People who are trying to go for healing, say you want to recover from something, very good time. You need to do grounding meditation. You need to do a lot of breathing exercises. And if you are in any relationship issue, you must be in a situation, you must go to a counselor, you must go to a healer at this point of time to resolve any standing matters. Mars is in its own zodiac sign. This is a positive thing, but 7th house is not a very, very comfortable place for Mangal, especially for Libra, for whom Mars can be affecting the personal life a lot. So in this case, aggression may not be the key, however capable you are. You have to go and follow the path of this soft-heartedness. Praying to Ma Bhagavati, Ma Durga, chanting Durga Kavach, Devi Suktam is the way ahead. Scorpio. Now for Scorpio, Mars moves to the 6th house. Now this is a very, very good placement for Mangal. Mars, who wants to fight, who wants to win, who loves competition, goes in the 6th house, the house of competition, the house of debts. And this is the time when you should pray to Mangal, as you can do Mangal Stotra Jap, you can do Havan related to Mangal. Now Mars coming in the 6th house is a blessing in disguise. Why? First of all, Mars is free from Saturn and Rahu. Mars no longer affects your 4th house and the 5th house. In fact, Mars is now coming in the 6th house, your Lagna Lord coming in the 6th house, but in a very own space. So you are like, you will be given the task that you can easily perform, which means you will become victorious, you will become successful, you will be passing with the flying colors. Students who are giving a competitive examination, who are preparing for competitive examination, especially medical and engineering examination, will see great boost during this time, great success in their way of their studying. The more you study, the better you will be able to score marks. Now Mars being in the 6th house is very good to clear off debt, especially land and property related debt. So if you are in some kind of problem in properties, if your property is stuck, if your project is stuck, this is the time. Health wise, Mars would want you to be into fitness, basically a fitness freak. So you should focus on calories, you should focus on diet, you should focus on your daily routine, your daily exercise, because 6th house is something that is associated with day to day, moment to moment, every single effort. It's like the wheel that keeps the vehicle rolling, which means people involved in tire industry, car industry, automobile industry will see great success when Mars is in the 6th house. Mars being in the 6th house will aspect your 9th house, so sudden travel may happen, which is going to be good for you. Mars aspecting 12th house also means international travel, and people who want to take education loan and study. If you are feeling any problem, if you are getting stuck, if the loan is not being cleared, maybe Mars will guide you on that. If you have problems related to Vastu, if you have problem related to Bhumi, land, maybe you are dealing some land and in such cases you are in some sort of problem, Mars in the 6th house will help you. This Mars also helps you in court cases. This Mangal has the potential to resolve conflicts that are long standing in your life, especially related to inheritance, properties. But this would also involve your life force being drained away. So it's like you are paying off, you are winning, but at a certain cost. You have to ensure what is the cost of your victory. Your cost of the victory should not be very high. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to manage your life, manage everything. The recommendation here is that you should chant Hanuman Chalisa, Bajrang Baan, and Hanuman Ashtak as much as possible. See, Mars is a very positive planet in the 6th house and will fight and win. But no fight is without wound. It's not that you won't suffer anything, but you will come out victorious. Now, somebody will be winning it easily. For some, the winning can be difficult. But you have to ensure that you win. And for that, you have to follow the path of Mangal, which means dedication, hard work, willpower, constantly doing it, never giving attitude. If your Mars is too negative in your birth chart, then you can be then you are somebody who needs this Mars in the 6th house to pull your horoscope's Mars out of trouble. So Mangal Shanti part done during this time will be very helpful. Also, Mars 8th aspect falling on the Lagna ensures that you are having a confrontation 1:1 with your enemies, with the negativity. So fighting the fear is the theme of Mars coming in the 6th house. You will fight your fear, you will win, and your Mooladhara chakra will be triggered during this time, which means you will feel more secured. You will feel that you have achieved something, and this sense of achievement will fill you with pride and happiness, but do not feel egoistic. Jupiter being in the 7th house is there to guide you. So listen to all the positive guidance around you. Some guidance may be positive, some may be negative, but if a guru is speaking, listen to it. Sagittarius. Now in case of Sagittarius, Mars moves in your 5th house. Now this is a very, very positive Mars transit. This Mars transit fills you with energy. This Mars transit gives you the motivation. This makes you more effective in your communication and also gives positive response in marriage and romantic relationships. Mars is the lord of your 5th house and 12th house. 12th lord coming in 5th house shows that your productivity and efficiency with respect to foreign transactions will improve. Say for example, you are exporting your goods and services, then this is going to increase many times, and Mars, according to your own horoscope, will perform positively. And 5th house is also house of learning. This is a great time to learn something which can produce losses. This will make you more aware about the loopholes in your company, the loopholes in your relationship, the loopholes in your life. It will also raise red flags. Now it is up to you whether you address them or not. Mars being in the 5th house helps you resolve issues related to childbirth. If you are having any problems in your child's life, Mars in the 5th house means things will move faster, you will be very active, and you will be able to resolve the problem effectively. Mars will aspect your 8th house, and this is going to give you great profits in the speculative business like stock trading, not on the intraday, but on the long term. Mars aspecting the 8th house also means that your diet control, your willpower will improve your health, and you will be able to learn and overcome any situation in life. It's more like a sixth sense which is telling you the problem in the future, and you will be able to fight back and win. Mars aspecting 11th house increases the profits, increases the business efficiency, and you will be able to gain a lot. Although your mind will be very active during this time, you should ensure that you are giving your body a proper rest. Mars aspecting 12th house with the 8th aspect shows that with the source of income, you will be able to save a lot of money, cut down your debts. But one thing is, you have to remember, you must donate the money, because the transformation is coming from Scorpio, which is aspected by Mercury, Jupiter, Venus and Sun, all positive planets. The more donation you do, the more Hanuman Jap you do, the better your life will be when Mars is in the 5th house. Now being in the 5th house, Mars is aspected by the Saturn. Saturn's third aspect now falls on the Mangal, which means your own efforts, your own confidence can be your roadblock. So it means that if you are skeptical about something, try to resolve through knowledge, learn about it. You don't know how to do a task, go and learn about it. But do not quit, because if you quit, you may regret later on. Mars is the 5th lord. 5th lord coming in the 5th house is the blessing of the Purva Punya. Don't let it go. Yes, one thing can happen, that in order to accomplish a certain task, you may have to sacrifice, you may have to give up something. Now that is up to you, because what you are giving up is the cost of your success at this point of time. Is that cost justified? If yes, you go ahead. If no, that means you may be redirecting your Martian energy to a very negative environment, and Saturn is ensuring that you don't fall in the wrong path. That is why Hanuman Chalisa is absolutely necessary. This can also make you a bit restless, especially when the things won't go your way. You would desperately want things to fall in the line, but you have to keep on walking, keep on moving. Health of your mother can be impacted during this time, and you might feel very restless because of that. Now Rahu being in the 4th house also can create problems related to real estate. So be very careful when you're dealing with matters related to real estate, your assets, driving a car, or even claiming an insurance. Ketu in the 10th house also shows that Mars is going to use Ketu to create a different branch in your business, different branch in your career. And if you're stuck somewhere, first ensure that you know everything about the next step that you're going to take. Say you want to shift a job, you want to shift the office, you want to change the job, plan everything and then take a call. Yes, don't spend 5 months in planning, maybe make your planning faster. The quicker you learn, the better the implementation will be. But overall for Sagittarius, it's a thumbs up, it's a very positive transit. Capricorn. For Capricorn, Mars rules your 4th house and Mars rules your 11th house. That means Mars rules your happiness and Mars rules your income source. When you combine both of them and bring Mars in the 4th house, it means you are more worried, but you are okay with the situation that is right now. That means you are worrying for something that will happen in the future. The problem may not be immediate, but you are more concerned with something that may happen, and you will try your best to create a defense around yourself for a problem that may culminate because of certain decisions that you have taken. You may be worried, you may be concerned. So you have to keep a calm. You have to allow your mind to think on the positive channel, otherwise this can create negative emotions. The situation in the family, the situation related to inheritance may be a little difficult, and this might be the time when you have to take some bold steps and take a stand for yourself, your aspirations and ambitions. The resource crunch may also force you to think on a different angle, may force you to take certain career which you don't want, but you need money, or you have to stabilize your life, and for that you are selecting that. That means Mars is going to give you positive results, but it is like you will get what you need, but you may not get what you want. This also means that you will seek refuge in your friends. You will be more with them just to be more comfortable. Nothing is wrong. Ensure that you are in the right company, because your friends' influence, your inner circle's influence on your life will be more than what you can imagine. Now Mars will aspect the 7th house. This can create tensions in your marriage. Now why Mars is creating tension in marriage in spite of it being in its own zodiac sign? See, 4th house is the house where naturally Mars is debilitated, Cancer zodiac sign. Mars aspects the Karka Rashi, and which means that emotions are going to be a very significant part of your life, and emotions because of frustration. That means you can, because you are sensing things moving in the right direction, even one variation can make you throw your anger. One variation can make you dominate the situation, because you will feel that if I do not take control, the situation may go out of hand, and that is exactly what you should not do in the personal life. Remember, Jupiter is positive in the 5th house. Allow the Jupiter to view the 9th house, view your Lagna. So get the guidance, learn to listen. The more you listen, the more you are for your family, the more you are with your friends, the more you are standing up to them, you will win. You will get all the necessary support, and slowly you will see that Mars is actually turning out into a beautiful flower. Mangal in 4th house also means that Bhumi Pujan should be done. Vastu correction should be done during this time. Going and visiting Hanuman temple is a very good remedy. Mars with its 8th aspect will aspect your 11th house, and therefore this is definitely a time where you would want to follow your passion. Your source of income may change. If you are not getting into a job, this is the time when you will feel that something will happen in the right direction. Now Mars is not only going to be a very important planet. See what's happening in the 3rd house. Rahu is hemmed between Mars and Saturn. That means your creative freedom is going away. So responsibilities are increasing and creative freedom is declining. Prepare accordingly. Do not jump into conclusion. Don't be judgmental about situations and towards the people, and you give others the room to explain. Things may not be perfect, but these set of imperfections are something that you will cherish in the future. Go with a little bit of ease. Over strictness is only going to cause more harm, and especially towards your health, you will have to be very, very careful. Otherwise, there can be dental issues. For people, there are people who can see heart-related problems, and for oral hygiene, for dental hygiene, you should give proper attention. Situation with your younger brothers and elder brothers may decline, especially between your cousins. So be careful, do not get involved and do not act as a mediator in a situation or between people where you should never be in the first place. Be practical, be grounded, and listen to the advice of the elderly. Aquarius. For Aquarius, Mars rules your 3rd house and Mars rules your 10th house. That means Mars is your career. Mars is your ambition, it's your free will, it's your capacity to act, it's your capacity to work, it's your capacity to function. Your ascendant lord is Saturn. Your ascendant lord is on the ascendant and your 3rd lord is in the 3rd house. On one side, your ascendant is gaining power. On the other hand, Mars is also gaining power. That means you are caught in a dilemma. You are caught in a dilemma because 3rd house, Mars is a Mars that has a lot of strength. It gets the directional strength. Mars is also the Karaka of the 3rd house. That means this can create unnecessary power struggle in your life, unnecessary power struggle with your brother, with your siblings. Saturn has a 3rd aspect on Mars, which means you will stop yourself from taking many decisions, possibly because of what's happening in your family. Why? Because 2nd house has Rahu. And Saturn Mars is causing a Pap Kartari on Rahu. Now, Mars being in the 3rd house is actually a very good Mars. It's a good Mars to take bold initiatives. It's a good Mars for your career. But this Mars also wants to make you careful about the problems or dangers that comes in the future, because Mars has a Mars aspect, 4th aspect falls on the 6th house. That means emotionally this can be a challenging time and you will have to put up a bold face because of what's happening around your Lagna. Which means you will have to be very careful with your health. Body ache can happen to you. Now Mars has a direct aspect on the 9th house, which means you are the maker of your destiny. So you may be in a crossroad trying to choose which path to take, and you will have to take some tough decisions, be it career or personal life. Now this is obviously not a time to start any inheritance related conversation with your siblings, otherwise this will end up into bigger fight. Mars also has 8th aspect on the 10th house, which means career and your home are going to split you apart. Nothing wrong will happen, but you will be able to see that you are being at 2 places together. So time management is going to be a key here. Although Mars has enough energy for it to complete in the right manner, but you will be in a situation where you can be mentally frustrated, especially if you are Aquarius moon sign. This power struggle is very, very strong for you. Now, people who has a powerful Mars in the chart will be able to manage this nicely. But if your Mars is, say, in the 6th house, debilitated, or if Mars is with Ketu, then this energy can be very troubling. The circumstances, you would want to do things, and then there will be errors, and you are now frustrated with the error. You want to perfect it. So it's more like sharpening a pencil. The more you sharpen it, seeking perfect edge, perfect cone, perfect point, you're also killing the pencil. The length of the pencil is reducing. You're also burning it. You may not realize. By the time you realize, it's too late. So gear up, give value to the time, give value to yourself, and be very polite in your communication. Be down to earth, and that's the message of Mars being in the 3rd house. From the career and financial perspective, this can make you take some bold initiative. This can make you take initiatives related to career, and people can shift jobs, people can resign, and people can also start new business during this time. Just that you have to be very, very careful how you deal with people who work under you and who reports to you. So in corporate sector, this Mars can be beautiful, provided you are expressing it by restraining and refining yourself continuously. Pisces. Now for Pisces, if you observe, Mars rules your 2nd house and Mars rules your 9th house. Now definitely Mars rules your destiny, Mars rules your personal life, Mars rules your finances, Mars rules your resources. If that Mars goes in the 2nd house, it is actually extremely positive for you. This resolves kind of a lot of problems, bring guidance into the life, and it stabilizes your life by giving you enough financial resources, backing from the family. And this may also mean that you will do auspicious events in your family. Something positive will happen in the extended family, which will be a chance of joy and happiness to the entire family. A second house Mars also means that you will be able to save the money. Your money will be put to good use. Positive investments will happen, and you will be able to go into a lot of positive security. It also heals your Mooladhara chakra, creates a fencing around you. If you are suffering from Tantra, this will protect you. So take the name of Bhagwan Hanuman by chanting Hanuman Chalisa, if possible, 21 times every day, just to bring that power of positivity and security in your life. A second house Mars is very good for people who are involved in food industry, fire industry, people who are involved in securities, and people who are involved in anything related to Martian energy. Say you have a gym and you want to work positively, you want to see business growth, this is the time. People working in the engineering sector will also see positive growth. Now Mars have a fourth aspect on the fifth house. This kind of helps you go into a correct diet, lose your weight, create a better health, and this is the time where you will be able to consume positivity. So refrain yourself from, say, watching horror movies, reading dark things, and too much of focusing on the negative side. Only focus on the positive side. This can be a time when you are more emotional and homesick, and you are remembering your past and your family members. Also, Mars 7th aspect on the 8th house also shows that you are addressing ups and downs of life quite well, and therefore your life is in a pretty stable state. Now Jupiter is in the 3rd house. Jupiter has to come out of the combustion, which it will very soon, and this will stabilize the life further. So for Pisces, it's a beautiful time. For Pisces, it's a wonderful time. Just ensure that you are not bringing a lot of authority where the emotions are involved. You are not being very aggressive at places where you should be polite. This can only be the problem when Mars falls in the Kutumbha Bhav, that you are becoming more aggressive, you are not being considerate, and you want to do things your way. Then Saturn from the 12th house, which is sitting in the house of expenses, may create unexpected travel, unexpected expenses, and may create separation between two people, especially in married life, and that can draw your attention, and your entire Martian energy will go in solving that situation. So respect the planet, respect the energies, be inclusive, be polite, and you will see that your humbleness will take you a long way.